guys? Welcome back to the Geeks & Company. My name is Jeff. We are at London Comic Con 2024. If you're one of the faithful, if you tune in every week to the Geek Boutique podcast, this man needs no introduction, guys. Friend of the podcast. We met him here last year. Matt Taylor. Oh, yeah.
Time flies.
Time does fly, in fact. Thanks for coming back to London, first of all. What's your impression of the con itself, London Comic Con? You and I were kind of talking this a little bit earlier. What keeps bringing you back to this con?
Well, the environment, the way the show's run, the people, like yourself, like everyone it's almost like a reunion. You know, this was my first show, kind of legitimate show in the sense of that I arranged through the organizers, was London 2 years ago. So I've been technically doing shows for 2 years, and this place holds a special part in my heart, or a piece of my heart, for that reason. Right? It's kind of like a bit of a reminiscing experience for my partner and I, Jen, my wife.
I was just going to say, congratulations. You're getting some pretty moony eyes over here. By the way, can I have him for 5 minutes, please? Could we? Absolutely. Thank you. Congratulations are in order. Amazing. When did you guys get married?
June 8th of this year.
Crazy. And so you guys are still like the newlywed phase. How's that going?
Yeah, you know what? It feels like we've always been married. It feels like we've been together for 2.5 years, but it feels like it's been a lot longer. So
he said, last wordingly. For the people that are watching that maybe didn't catch you on the previous podcast or are not familiar with your work, how would they know Matt Taylor? What would they have seen, or what could they watch to catch some of your work?
Well, IMDb is always a good resource. That gives you real-time information for the most part. Recently, I worked on C with Jason Momoa. That was and Umbrella Academy in the same summer. Yep. That was summer of 2021. The industry's been a little long, but we've focused a lot on the shows in the last 2 years, to be honest. Yeah. So I've read for stuff, but not everything fits what I want to do, or I may not fit with the production, depending on what I'm reading for. So yeah, the shows have been a big focus for us. We've been able to travel, meet a lot of amazing people, and just have great experiences. But C, going back to your question, CSEE is in sight. Apple TV. I played the main villain opposite Jason Momoa, and then Umbrella Academy. I played one of the Guardians in the last 2 episodes of season 3, which was supposed to be the last season of that show, but they came back and did another season. Yeah.
You've been in the business quite some time, from early roles, Detroit Rock City and such. The industry has changed pretty dramatically over the course of that time. A move away from regular TV and even theatrical, the mid-range theatrical release or the smaller budget doesn't seem to be happening as much. A lot of that's going towards streaming now. As someone that's been in the game a long time, what's your impression of how things are going, pros and cons, that type of thing?
Yeah, I'm fortunate to have been in the industry I'm still in the industry, but to have started when I did. Yeah. For that reason, it seems everything now with all the streaming networks, there's so much to see, so much to watch, so much to follow up with, season 1, 2, 3, etc. Theater movies are almost background now. It seems like. So I don't think you have the staying power with film and TV like we once did. Cult classics are almost a thing of the past, right? There's still movies that come out that will still have a longer lifespan, but it's not like it was back, again, in the earlier days of my career in the 90s and early 2000s. Now it's just there's so much competition, and it's how fast can they get stuff out and move on to the next project. So that piece is a little bit disheartening to know the work you do doesn't have that same staying power. Right?
And there's so much of it now, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting inundated with product now, so.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm again fortunate to be here representing projects I did 20 years ago that still have the same effect and the same presence that they did 20 years ago.
Talk to me a little bit about that. Coming out to the shows, you said you guys have been doing that for a couple of years now. This seems to be almost like the gig now. Like you're coming out, you're meeting the fans, you're doing the shows. What is it about that, getting a chance to connect with the people that enjoy your work, that keeps you coming back out?
Well, it's just that, being able to talk to people that actually are at home enjoying it, right? It's one thing to be online and do social media, but to actually be able to engage in conversations. I just had a great individual, Noah from London. I spoke to him about 10 or 15 minutes just about the process of getting body casts versus nowadays it's done digitally. And just sharing those experiences with people and reminiscing myself at the same time. It doesn't get old. and it's kind of boots on the ground, reminiscing versus again doing it digitally online. So through social media, it's a nicer experience here, seeing people and be able to engage, face to face.
Obviously, I mean, they had your Nemesis up on the marquee outside. Like, people, that's kind of what people know for. What's the surprise one that every now and then someone will be like, I loved you in this, or I love that character in that? That kind of is like, oh, no one ever really asked me about that.
Yeah, you know what? The odd one pops up. Wow. Queer as Folk is one that I did 2 seasons of that show. This going back quite a few years, early 2000s. But that's one that will kind of creep up unexpectedly, because we don't present that as something, a marketing piece, if you will, to get into the shows. So it is nice to talk about those pieces that aren't necessarily front and center. That's one that does pop up, though, that kind of catches me off guard. But yeah, no, it's nice. It's still equally fun to talk about. Yeah, a lot of great experiences on that show too. So
if you had like a smaller market film or television project that you were a part of that maybe didn't quite get the audience that you wanted it to, but you think people should check out, what would be your recommendation for people to see a good Matt Taylor movie that maybe they missed?
Yeah, Way of the West or Redcoat Justice, and my co-star over there, Andre. We weren't the stars in the movie, but I'll call him my co-star. We spent a month up in Yukon filming in Whitehorse. That's a great show. It's a great movie. It's a lower budget film, but really well done. A great story behind it. Takes place back in the gold rush era, and we played it. Andre and I were in a gang of evil Russian Cossacks, and we'd go around and rob people of their gold in the different mining communities. Yeah. So great movie. It was done in 2009.
Now, do you know where they can check that out now?
That would be the challenge. I'm not sure it's being streamed anywhere right now. It'd be more probably getting a hard copy of it. I mean, again, IMDb is a great resource. People ask me what I've done, and I gotta go through the Rolodex in my head. And I've been fortunate enough to have worked on enough things that it is a struggle sometimes to come up with everything, especially when I'm asked on the spot. But
like I'm doing now to you.
Like you're doing now to me.
Of course.
IMDb, great resource to see exactly what I've been involved in. And yeah, I mean, Exit Wounds is another fun one, which I don't necessarily publicize, but it was a big part. Steven Seagal I talked about on stage earlier as well. So yeah, lots of neat movies out there that I've been fortunate enough to be part of. Yeah.
I'm not going to take up much more of your time because I know you're busy. You got people coming in. Speaking of stuff that you have been part of, I think we've talked about this in the podcast. Is there something out there that, like either an IP or a property that you've not had a chance to work on yet that you would like an opportunity to be a part of?
Yeah, and again, it's one of those on-the-spot questions. I would love to, dabble more in the horror genre. I guess how I grew up, kind of scaring myself at sleepovers with those types of movies, the slash movies of Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween's. It would be awesome to be part of one of those franchises, and also for the show to be able to talk about it at shows, because those shows get a lot of those types of movies. That genre gets a lot of attention at these shows as well. So that'd be an exciting piece for me. Not so much exercising the chops in that sort of role, but it's still a lot of fun to play. Just something that's iconic. Yeah.
We had mentioned you doing all the shows. So do you know, to put you on the spot again, do you know that your next shows that you have coming up that someone watching might be able to catch you at? Or do we have to get Jen in here to help answer this question? Yeah.
Manage it. Nothing on the forefront right now. There's discussions in the works, but I don't like to get too far ahead of myself. And I'll keep the energy in for now, and we'll see what transpires.
Well, I think we could safely say you're probably going to come back to this con next year, should they ask.
Next year, maybe we'll do it biannually. We'll see. We would love to do it every year, to be honest, but we respect what the promoters want. And
well, you got to leave them hungry for more, right? You got to keep them coming back. You can't just feed it to them all the time. Guys, Matt Taylor, check out his work. Go on IMDb, see what he's got. Thanks for joining us once again. Stay geeky, everyone.